Christian counselor, and welcome to Parakaleo Counseling. I hope you and yours are doing well and that the Lord has been keeping you. I don't know what part of the world you're joining us from, but here in Johannesburg, South Africa, we're in the middle of the winter, so it's been quite chilly, especially in the mornings and in the evenings, but the afternoons have mostly been warm and sunny, so it's not so bad. Today, we continue with our series on radical acceptance, which is a tool, as we learned in the first episode, a tool that you can use to minimize your suffering from difficult things that happen in your life. And for us to even talk about radical acceptance, it means that we've accepted that hard things happen in life. And this doesn't matter whether you believe in God or Jesus, or you're Muslim, or you're Hindu. Hard things are going to happen to everybody, absolutely everybody. And so it's not necessary for you to continuously suffer over an event that has happened to you, because most likely it's not the last event that's going to happen in your life that is going to be distressing. So it's important for us to come to a place of acceptance, come to a place of looking into the future. How do I cope? How do I continue to live my life? How do I continue to live my best life? Because there's likely going to be other things that will happen in your life. And if you don't deal with issues as they come, if you don't accept things as they come, things tend to pile up. And sometimes that's why we end up with mental health issues and we compromise our mental health wellness, our mental wellness. I beg your pardon. And so before we go into today's episode, let me just remind you once again that we do offer one-on-one, face-to-face, or online counseling. If you would like to make inquiries about that, please go to our bio. You'll find our contact details. If you have questions regarding this series or any other mental health related subjects, please also use those same details to get in touch with us. If you're not comfortable leaving your question or your comment in the comments to this video, because it is a public platform. So please get in touch. Let us know if you have guests you'd like us to invite to the channel to talk about any particular mental health topic. Please feel free to suggest those. Would love to hear from you. And also, please like the video, share the channel, subscribe. Within this last week, we reached 50 subscribers. Yay! It's a small milestone, but it's a milestone nonetheless. And we thank you so much. We thank you. And we pray that these videos will continue to be a blessing to you and that they will continue to make your lives more wholesome. And so, without wasting any more time, let's go straight into the episode. God bless. Hello, my name is Dr. Mercy Manyema and I'm a Christian counselor, and I'm going to be talking about radical acceptance. This is audio number 3 of the series. And in this audio, I'm going to be talking about some barriers to radical acceptance, some things, some situations that can make it difficult for us to radically accept a situation. And just a quick recap, we said that radical acceptance is fully accepting a situation, the facts of a negative situation that has happened in your life, accepting that you cannot change it, accepting that it's a reality that you cannot fight against. It's accepting also that fighting against it is not beneficial to you. Actually, it's a disadvantage, and that it is useful for regulating your emotions, for moving on, for being able to cope with unchangeable situations, and to help you to have peace of mind, and also to help you to forgive. It's a difficult process. It's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight, but it gets better the more and more you practice it. It's a mindset rather than an event. So what are some barriers to accepting the negative situations in our life? Barriers to radical acceptance. Number 1, it can feel as though you are minimizing the event or the situation. In the previous audio, I used the example of finding out that you are now HIV positive. So when we say accept your situation, sometimes it can feel like we are minimizing the depth of it or the the weight of how it has changed your life. It's now permanent. It's not going to, you're going to be living with HIV for the rest of your life. However, the opposite is actually true. When you accept a situation, it doesn't mean that you like it. It doesn't mean that you agree. It doesn't mean that it's a situation you would have chosen for yourself. It simply means you are accepting the fact that it has happened. You can no longer change it. You now need to think about how to live in the present and how to plan for the future. Sometimes it can feel like you are letting someone who has hurt you off the hook. So let's say somebody infected you, knowingly or unknowingly, and you will have to go through a process of forgiving. So when we say just accept your situation, it can feel like we are letting that person off the hook. Again, it's rather the opposite. For you to even forgive them, you need to be able to accept that I've been infected with HIV by this person. This is what has happened. I cannot change it. And then you can even move on to the process of forgiving. Number two, when a situation or an event causes us strong emotions, it can be difficult to even think about accepting it. So events that are traumatic, that are deeply hurtful, maybe the sudden death of a relative who was not sick, and other such situations that have very strong emotions, those can be difficult to accept. But like I said, radical acceptance is a process. It's not an event. And so it's okay for you to give yourself time. But to keep it at the back of your mind that eventually I'm going to need to live with this situation and accept it for what it is. You can go and find someone to talk to. You can journal, for example, music and singing. Those are ways of bringing down the intense emotions so that you can start accepting what has happened. Number three, sometimes when something wrong has been done to us, particularly when it's another person who has done something, the anger that we feel and the resentment, and the bitterness, sometimes it can feel safe for you. It can feel like you are protecting yourself from that person, and letting go of the anger feels like you are becoming vulnerable again. However, when we hold on to anger and resentment, it actually hurts us more than the person who has hurt us. And finally, sometimes we just don't know how to practice radical acceptance. Sometimes we talk about it and say, accept it, and we don't really know how to do it. But like I said, it's a skill that you can actually learn, and it gets better as you do it more and more. And in the next audio, I'm going to start talking about some of the steps that you take to accept a difficult situation that has come into your life.